Hello and welcome to Catholic News Roundup. I'm Christine Niles. Today's May 30th, 2025, the feast of St. Joan of Arc. Here are this week's top stories. A North Carolina bishop is under fire for his radical overhaul of the liturgy. Bishop Michael Martin, just appointed to the Charlotte Diocese last year, is doing away with kneelers at Mass and ordering that all Catholics stand during Holy Communion. A leaked draft also reveals more far-reaching changes, including discouraging use of Latin in the Mass. As commentators have noted, this contradicts Vatican II's Sacrosanctum Concilium, number 36, which states, "The use of the Latin language is to be preserved in the Latin rites." This was echoed by Pope Paul VI, who instructed in 1969 that the new rite of the Mass provides that the faithful should be able to sing together in Latin at least the parts of the ordinary of the Mass, especially the Creed and the Lord's Prayer, the Our Father.
Pater noster, qui es in celis.
Meanwhile, in Rome, Pope Leo is encouraging more Latin chant and prayers. At the close of his Wednesday general audience, he led the crowd in chanting the Pater Noster, closing once again with the apostolic blessing in Latin.
Benedicat vos omnipotens Deus, Pater et Filius et Spiritus Sancti.
Amen.
And the Pontifical Institute of Sacred Music continues rolling out new videos for its series, Let's Sing with the Pope.
Et cum spiritu tuo, and with your spirit. Let's try it together. Et cum spiritu tuo. Very good.
Bishop Martin's leaked draft also discourages praying the St. Michael prayer after Mass, claiming it, quote, can lead to the unfortunate doubt that the Eucharistic liturgy is somehow insufficient to bring about the scattering of evil and motivation to do good. This contradicts the exhortation of Pope St. John Paul II, who said, although this prayer is no longer recited at the end of Mass, I ask everyone not to forget it and to recite it to obtain help in the battle against the forces of darkness and against the spirit of this world. After lack of support from the Presbyteral Council, the planned changes in the leaked draft are being shelved for now. And in Washington state, bishops are suing over an anti-Catholic law. The lawsuit filed May 29th argues that a new mandatory reporting law forces clergy to break the confessional seal, violating their First Amendment right to free exercise of religion. According to Catholic teaching, breaking the confessional seal is so grave a violation, it results in automatic excommunication. The law was signed May 2nd by Washington Governor Robert Ferguson, who's ignored a request by the bishops for a meeting. And in Germany, an archdiocese is apologizing over a chicken dance. Paderborn Cathedral was the site of a controversial performance titled Westphalia Side Story, celebrating the 1250th anniversary of Westphalia. Present were Germany's president and the Archbishop of Paderborn. Outrage ensued, leading to a petition signed by more than 22,000 people demanding an apology and that the church be reconsecrated. A week after the show, the Archdiocese issued a statement apologizing, claiming it was unaware of the contents beforehand and that it would review its internal policy for vetting performances in the cathedral. And turning to abortion news, pro-lifers are urging an investigation into a Washington, D.C. abortionist. In a letter sent Tuesday, the coalition of 9 pro-life groups asked interim U.S. Attorney for D.C., Jeanine Pirro, to look into abortionist Cesare Santangelo, accused of committing infanticide.
So you would make sure?
Yeah, we wouldn't do any extra, it's like, it would be, a person that would be a terminal person in the hospital, let's say, that had cancer. You know, you wouldn't do any extra procedures to help that person survive. They had like, do not resuscitate orders.
Okay.
You know, we would do the same things here.
Okay.
Whereas if you were in a hospital in Virginia, let's say, and you went into labor and you went to the hospital and then they saw you deliver, they would do everything possible to help that fetus survive.
Okay, but you won't.
We wouldn't.
Okay.
The 2022 discovery of 5 late-term unborn babies sparked outcry.
I would like to remind people that in Washington, Chairman, if I could submit these to the record, in Washington,
So moved.
thank you, we are allowing for late-term abortion, and these babies were born alive. And my colleagues are not acknowledging that.
Instead of prosecuting the abortionist, Biden's DOJ went after the pro-lifers who found the babies. They were prosecuted and sentenced to up to 11 years in prison. President Trump later granted them pardons. And in COVID news, the COVID shot is officially gone from the CDC's vaccination schedule. RFK Jr., head of the Department of Health and Human Services, made the announcement Tuesday.
I couldn't be more pleased to announce that as of today, the COVID vaccine for healthy children and healthy pregnant women has been removed from the CDC recommended immunization schedule. Last year, the Biden administration urged healthy children to get yet another COVID shot despite the lack of any clinical data to support the repeat booster strategy in children.
2 days later, he canceled 2 bird flu contracts with Moderna, totaling $760 million, citing safety concerns. Dr. Simone Gold, a vocal critic of the pharmaceutical industry, tweeted, "The Trump administration canceling 2 contracts with Moderna is exactly what was needed to start ensuring accountability. Moderna, your day is coming." And turning to the Middle East, an Israeli and a Palestinian are showing the path to peace. After first meeting with Pope Leo on Friday, Palestinian Aziz Abu Sarah spoke of overcoming hatred after his brother, imprisoned in Israel, died from torture.
I was 10 when he died. I was very angry, very bitter, and I wanted revenge. And for the next 8 years, the only thing I cared about was revenge. And it took me 8 years to eventually understand that every time you choose revenge, you choose hate, you are being a slave to the person who killed my brother. I was being a slave to that person. He killed my brother and then he controlled my life. And I made a choice to choose forgiveness, not because that person deserved it, but because it's my choice and I want to be free. And eventually I ended up meeting Israelis that I started working with, realizing that we are not on opposite sides if we agree on the same values of equality, of justice, of peace, of working together. If we agree on those values, then we are not enemies.
Israeli Maoz Inan also spoke about a vision he had 3 days after his parents died at the hands of Hamas.
In my vision, I was crying in bed at night. My entire body was in pain. And through my tears, I could see that the entire humanity was crying with me. And our tears went down our face and to our bodies. And our tears healed the wounds, healed our burnt skin, and cured us. And we kept crying, and our tears went down to the ground. And our tears started washing the blood from the century-long conflict between Palestinians and Israeli. And our tears purifying the land. And then I could see the path to peace and reconciliation. So I woke up from the vision and I chose to take this path in order to heal and cure myself. And on this path, I met Aziz. And what we proved last year at the Arena de Pacha, that we are not just partners, but we are brothers. We are brothers pursuing justice and peace.
This comes 2 days after Pope Leo once again appealed for peace in Gaza. In the Gaza Strip, the cry of mothers, of fathers who clutch the lifeless bodies of children and who are continually forced to move in search of a little food and safer shelter from bombing, rises ever more intensely to the sky. I renew my appeal to the leaders. Cease fire, release all hostages, fully respect humanitarian law. Mary, Queen of Peace, pray for us. That is this week's Catholic News Roundup. Please support our work by visiting stellamaris.media. Your donations help us continue doing what we do. Thank you so much for watching. May God bless your week. I'm Christine Niles.